God says, there are moments when heaven bends close to earth, when the silence of the stars hides a secret too vast for human reason to grasp. Tonight is one of those moments. The veil is thin, and the divine realm has chosen to speak directly to you. There is a man, a wealthy man, who has been guided by divine instruction to transfer his power of attorney to your name. You don't know him in the earthly sense, but your souls are connected through a covenant older than memory. Before 11:55 p.m., a decision will unfold in his heart that will determine whether you inherit his fortune or watch it be given away. God says this is not about greed, but destiny. You were never meant to struggle the way you have. Every tear you cried was an investment in a miracle that is now ripening before your eyes. For years, unseen eyes have watched your faith. When others mocked your prayers, angels recorded your patience. When you gave your last to help someone who later betrayed you, heaven took note. There is divine law. What is sown in pain is reaped in power. This is your harvest hour. The man who holds this wealth does not understand why your name keeps appearing in his dreams. He has fought the impulse to search for you, but tonight, the angel of remembrance is whispering to him again. He is preparing to sign a document that will place authority, property, and legacy into your hands. You are unaware of him. But heaven is not. The Spirit says, do not doubt this. Before 11:55 p.m., a spiritual transaction will occur in the invisible realm that will open a door no one can shut. God says, you have walked through long nights where you questioned your worth, where you wondered if your life would ever change. You saw others rise while you stayed in the waiting room of destiny. But what you didn't see was that angels were preparing a table for you in secret. Every rejection was redirection. Every delay was divine design. The wealthy man is simply the vessel. The true giver is God Himself, and He has chosen to use this man as the earthly channel for your divine reward. The same power that parted seas is now parting legal barriers, financial walls, and emotional chains that have held you back. God says, I am making your name echo in rooms you have never entered. Tonight, the heavens are busy. Archangel Michael stands with a scroll that bears your name, written in gold light. On that scroll is written the decree, transfer of authority approved by divine order. It's not a coincidence you're reading this message at this precise hour. It is a summons, a spiritual signal. The angels are aligning the signatures, the timing, the hearts of people who will help this manifest in the physical realm. The man doesn't yet understand why he feels such peace when he thinks of your name, but it is because the Spirit of God is ministering to him, showing him visions of you, visions of your compassion, your quiet strength, your faithfulness when no one saw your struggle. God says, you were never forgotten. The world overlooked you because you were hidden under divine protection. The wealthy man's inheritance, his authority, his influence, these are symbols of something much larger. You are stepping into the season where spiritual power and earthly blessing converge. The reason this moment feels urgent is because heaven is closing old cycles of lack and opening doors of abundance that will not remain open forever. That's why the message says before 11:55 p.m. It's not superstition, it's divine timing. God has appointed this window for your obedience, for your agreement with heaven's plan. You are being asked to believe, to pray, to claim what is already written for you in the book of life. The Spirit whispers, remember who you are. You have the blood of survivors, the heart of a warrior, the soul of a healer. You carry light in places that others feared to enter. God saw how many nights you almost gave up. But even when you were silent, heaven heard your heart. That's why this message found you. You think it's just words, but this is a living decree. It is an activation of what has been prepared for you since before you were born. The wealthy man is not a stranger to God. He has been entrusted with a divine task, to transfer the power of attorney to your name because you are chosen to manage something far greater than wealth, divine purpose wrapped in prosperity. There are spiritual forces that tried to block this. You felt them: sudden fear, unexplained delays, strange resistance when blessings were close. Those were not coincidences. They were shadows trying to keep you from this divine inheritance. But Archangel Michael has already gone ahead of you. His sword of light has cut through the spiritual contracts that tied your abundance to the wrong hands. You are now free to receive. God says, do not let fear stop you from believing this is real. Many miss their miracles because they doubt at the threshold. But you, child of light, are being called to cross over. Imagine the man right now. He sits in silence, papers before him, pen in hand. He pauses, feeling something stirring within his spirit, a warmth, a pull, an unexplainable urge to find you. He doesn't understand it, but it's divine intervention. You are appearing in his dreams because your name is on his destiny. As he prepares to sign, heaven watches. The angels wait for your agreement, your faith, your prayer. That's why God says, pray now. Your words have power to seal what heaven has initiated. The moment you release gratitude and faith, the spiritual alignment completes. God says, this is not a mistake. Everything that once went wrong will begin to turn right. You've been under divine surveillance, not to punish you, but to protect you until this exact hour. The wealthy man's transfer symbolizes the end of a generational pattern of scarcity in your life. You have broken the curse that kept your ancestors bound to struggle. You will not only receive material abundance but spiritual elevation. Your hands will heal, your words will bless, your presence will inspire. God is placing divine authority in your name because you have proven trustworthy with little. Now you will be entrusted with much. The angels say, you have been chosen to steward wealth for purpose, not for pride. There are souls connected to your blessing, people whose lives will be touched through your obedience. That is why the message feels heavy, urgent, sacred. Heaven is not just trying to give you money. Heaven is trying to awaken you to mission. The power of attorney represents responsibility, the authority to act in divine partnership. You will speak and doors will open. You will pray and mountains will move. You will decide and heaven will honor your decree because your heart is aligned with divine will. Look back for a moment at the trials, betrayals, losses that almost broke you. Each one was training. You learned compassion through pain, strength through disappointment, wisdom through waiting. You thought those years were wasted, but God says, they were preparation for power. The wealthy man's decision to transfer everything to you is a divine reflection of how heaven is transferring influence, favor, and authority into your spirit. It's not random, it's recognition. The universe has recorded your endurance, and this is your divine compensation. God says, you are safe. Don't be afraid of what's coming. There will be moments of sudden acceleration, emails, calls, unexpected opportunities that seem too good to be true. That's not luck. That's prophecy fulfilling itself. The more you trust, the faster things align. The more you doubt, the slower the manifestation. That's why heaven emphasizes prayer and trust. When you align your heart with divine timing, miracles don't just happen, they obey you. Your faith is the magnetic field that draws what belongs to you, tonight. As the clock moves toward 11:55, the spiritual energy around you intensifies. You may feel warmth in your chest, chills down your spine, sudden emotions. That's not imagination, it's the presence of angels drawing near. They are preparing you to receive what has already been signed in heaven. Say this prayer quietly: God, I am ready to receive what you have prepared for me. Let every blessing meant for me find me now. I trust you. I thank you. I am ready. These words open spiritual channels that allow heaven's decree to flow into your physical life. The wealthy man is a mystery to you for now, but soon his identity will be revealed. You will discover that there were divine coincidences linking your paths long before this moment, people, places, or moments that seem small but were part of a grand orchestration. God says, I have written your name in places you have not yet seen. The document he signs will shift the course of your life, but the deeper miracle is how it will restore your faith in divine justice. You will finally see that nothing you lost was wasted. There will be voices of doubt, people who won't believe your blessing, who will say it's impossible. But God says, ignore them. Their disbelief cannot cancel your destiny. You have already been chosen, sealed, and approved. The power of attorney is already yours spiritually, the physical proof will follow. Keep your heart humble. Use what is coming not to boast but to bless. Share what you receive, and the flow will never stop. heaven is making this night holy. The divine hour approaches. The wealthy man is hesitating, but Michael stands beside him, guiding his hand. The angels chant your name in the language of light. You may not hear it, but your soul does. Everything is converging. Your prayers, His obedience, God's plan, all meeting in this one miraculous moment. It's happening now. Do not let fear or doubt interrupt this divine alignment. God says, you have entered your season of divine transfer. You are not losing anything anymore. What's yours is returning, multiplied. The man's decision will unlock more than wealth, it will unlock recognition, favor, peace, and divine authority over your destiny. You will be called to lead, to inspire, to guide others out of darkness with the light that once saved you. This is your calling, and tonight is your confirmation, so, breathe. Believe. Receive. The clock is moving toward 11:55 p.m., and heaven is watching for your agreement. Say yes in your spirit. Whisper your trust. Because the moment you do, the angels will move, the signature will be made, and your new life will begin. God says, it is done. You are safe. You are chosen. You are ready, God says. You have been walking through a path where silence spoke louder than words, and tonight heaven itself has chosen to speak directly to you. This is not a coincidence, not a dream, not a passing thought. You are being called because something powerful, divine, and life-changing is about to unfold for you. A wealthy man, one who has been guided by the light of God, has seen your name written in his spirit. You don't know yet, but he has been quietly watching your journey, admiring your strength, your resilience, and the way you never gave up even when life tested you again and again. He is not a stranger in the eyes of heaven. His connection to you goes beyond this lifetime. He has carried a piece of your destiny unknowingly, and now, by the will of God, He is about to hand it back to you. You may not realize it, but this man's decision to transfer his power of attorney to your name is not simply about wealth or material gain. It is a divine transaction, a sacred exchange orchestrated by God Himself to restore what was lost in your bloodline, to heal what was broken in your family's name, and to release the abundance that was once withheld from you. There are forces in heaven working overtime to ensure this blessing reaches you before 11:55 p.m., because the timing of this message is not random. It is precise, divinely scheduled, and deeply meaningful. If you are reading this now, it is because your spirit is aligned with the frequency of divine restoration. Archangel Michael stands beside you even as you read this, his wings spread wide in protection and his sword of light guarding every corner of your life. He whispers to your heart, do not be afraid. You are safe, you are chosen, and nothing can block what God has already released in your name. The enemy has tried to distract you, to pull you away from your calling, to convince you that you are forgotten. But heaven declares otherwise. God says you have been seen, heard, and marked for divine compensation. What was stolen from you emotionally, spiritually, and financially is being returned, multiplied, and blessed. The wealthy man who is transferring his power of attorney to you does not even know fully why he's doing it. He thinks it's intuition, a moral decision, a legal necessity, but in truth, his soul is obeying the command of heaven. His heart has been stirred by an invisible force, the same divine energy that brought you here right now to read these words. You were chosen for this exact moment. The angels have moved people, situations, and even paperwork behind the scenes for your sake. There are signatures waiting to be completed, documents being finalized, and bank authorizations being approved, all aligning in divine order. God says, "Do not fear what you cannot see, for I have already written the conclusion." Every delay, every rejection, every night you cried wondering when your breakthrough would come, it was preparing you for this. You were being molded into the kind of person who could handle a blessing of this magnitude with grace and wisdom. God is not just giving you wealth, He is giving you authority, influence, and the responsibility to use it with compassion. This power of attorney is more than legal control, it is spiritual stewardship. You will be a vessel through which God's light and abundance flow into the world. Right now, heaven is waiting for your agreement. God cannot force this blessing upon you, He can only offer it. The wealthy man's decision is the manifestation of God's plan, but your faith is the key that unlocks it. Before 11:55 p.m., take a moment to speak to God silently. Tell Him you accept His will. Tell Him you trust His timing. Tell Him you open your heart to receive this blessing with gratitude and humility. In that moment, something unseen will begin to shift, energy will flow, paperwork will move, people will be inspired to act, and what was blocked will suddenly open. The angels are saying this. This message came to you now because heaven knows you almost lost hope. You've been through a season where you gave, and received nothing but silence in return. But that silence wasn't punishment, it was preparation. God was protecting your name from premature exposure. The reason the wealthy man did not appear in your life earlier is because the timing wasn't ready. The transfer had to align with your soul's maturity, your emotional healing, and your spiritual readiness. Now it has. Now you are ready to hold the mantle that God is placing in your hands. Archangel Michael is guarding the process as we speak. He is surrounding your finances, your name, your identity, your energy with divine armor. No one can manipulate this transfer. No evil can interfere. No delay can overturn heaven's decree. You have been through too much to lose this moment now. You've carried the pain of generations, and God says He will not let it end in suffering, it will end in glory. Every injustice you faced will be rewritten as a testimony. Every betrayal will turn into divine proof that God never abandoned you. The wealthy man's soul has been divinely convicted to make things right. Whether he is someone connected to your family, your destiny, or even your unseen guardian in this lifetime, heaven knows his role. He has been instructed to hand over what is rightfully connected to your purpose. This is why his mind feels compelled to act fast. He doesn't know why, but something inside him whispers your name repeatedly. God's power moves like that. It touches the hearts of people who can bless you even when they don't fully understand why they are drawn to you. Tonight, before the clock strikes 11:55 p.m., something remarkable will begin to manifest in the spiritual realm. You might feel sudden chills, see repeated signs like your birth numbers, or sense a powerful presence around you. That's not coincidence. That's confirmation. It means the angels are near, finalizing the unseen paperwork of your blessing. Heaven is ensuring that the wealthy man fulfills his spiritual obligation toward you. And God wants you to know that this is not a favor, it is divine justice. What is coming to you now was always meant for you. It just had to wait until you were spiritually ready to receive it. God says, you are not forgotten. Every prayer you whispered in exhaustion, every tear that fell when no one was watching, heaven collected them all. Those tears became seeds. And now, those seeds are blooming into a harvest so great that even your enemies will marvel at how quickly your life changes. You will not have to chase blessings anymore, they will begin to chase you. You will not have to beg for opportunities, they will be placed in your path effortlessly. Archangel Michael reminds you, when you receive this power, remember the purpose. Use it to heal, to help, to uplift others. Use it to bring light where there has been darkness. The wealthy man's gift is not just financial, it is spiritual legacy. God is trusting you to handle it with purity of heart. That is why you were chosen over others. Many were considered, but only you carried the humility and faith strong enough to bear this responsibility. The heavens are rejoicing even now, for the cycle of lack is breaking in your life. You are stepping into divine abundance, not because of luck, but because of grace. God's grace is rewriting your story. You will soon understand why every door closed, because the one that is opening now is designed just for you. It's not just a door of opportunity, it's a gate of destiny. As you sit quietly tonight, feel the energy around you shift. The air may feel lighter, your heart may feel warm, or you might sense a deep calm. These are all signs that God's presence is near. The angels are activating blessings on your behalf. You may not see it yet, but paperwork in the physical world is aligning with decrees in the spiritual world. Before the man transfers his power of attorney completely, heaven will ensure every obstacle is cleared. Remember, this message found you at the perfect divine moment. God says, I am giving you proof that I have not abandoned you. The proof will come through unexpected communication, a letter, an email, a call, or a message related to an opportunity, property, inheritance, or partnership. Don't ignore it. Don't doubt it. It is the physical manifestation of this divine message. Even now, heaven is whispering your name into the ears of decision-makers, investors, and helpers. Angels are standing before gates of authority, commanding them to open in your favor. This is your appointed time. This is the moment heaven has been preparing you for. And God says, do not delay. Accept this blessing in faith, before 11:55 p.m., because what is released in the Spirit must be claimed in time. So breathe. Let go of the fear that you might lose it. You cannot lose what heaven has written with divine ink. You are safe, protected, and chosen. God says you are under His wings, and no harm will come near you. The same God who guided Moses through the sea and Daniel through the lion's den is guiding you through this transition. You will not sink, you will rise. As you finish reading these words, close your eyes for a moment. Feel the divine presence around you. God says, I have seen how long you have waited, how many times you cried silently, and how many nights you prayed without telling anyone what you were going through. Heaven has not ignored your tears. The sound of your prayers has reached higher than you think. There is something extraordinary unfolding right now in the unseen world, something so divine that if you could see it with your physical eyes, you would fall to your knees in awe. A wealthy man, who has been silently guided by the hand of God, has decided to transfer something powerful to your name, His authority, His power of attorney, His blessing. And though you may not know Him yet, heaven has chosen you to be the one who carries what He built with His lifetime of work. This is not coincidence, this is destiny written long ago in your spiritual contract. God says, before 11:55 p.m., a divine action will be taken in your favor. You have walked through deserts of waiting, storms of confusion, and valleys of disappointment. Yet, through it all, you didn't let go of faith completely. Even when you doubted, you still whispered, God, please don't forget me. And God didn't. He kept your name hidden for a season because what was meant for you required divine preparation. There were forces trying to block you, people trying to delay your rise, and situations designed to discourage you, but none of them succeeded. Heaven was using time as a shield, not as punishment. Every not yet was actually I'm protecting you until the right moment arrives. And now, that moment is unfolding. This wealthy man, chosen and inspired by the divine, is someone who carries a heart touched by heaven. His life has been marked by success, but lately, his soul has been searching for peace, for purpose beyond the material world. God whispered your name into his heart, not through words, but through a divine stirring he couldn't ignore. He doesn't fully understand why, but he feels drawn to you. It's not attraction or curiosity, it's divine assignment. Heaven has aligned his steps to you because you hold something his life's mission requires for completion: spiritual purity, kindness, and humility. God says, you have been overlooked by the world because heaven wanted to preserve your purity. If people had noticed your worth too early, they would have tried to use you, manipulate you, or twist your destiny. But God hid you like a treasure buried in silence, waiting for the appointed season to reveal your light. And that season has arrived. The wealthy man is guided to you for a divine transfer, not just of money, but of authority, influence, and opportunity. His power of attorney carries not only material wealth but spiritual favor. He has resources, but you have divine energy. He has status, but you have destiny. He has experience, but you have grace. The moment these two divine streams meet, his abundance and your faith, a spiritual contract will be activated that will change your life forever. God says, before 11:55 p.m., the papers that symbolize authority are being spiritually aligned to your name. The heavens are working behind the curtain. Angels are arranging documents, signatures, and situations. You might not see the paperwork, but you will feel the energy shift. You will sense peace and divine confirmation in your spirit. Do not doubt this message. Heaven's timing is precise. When God says now, every door that was locked swings open. Every delay begins to reverse. Every negative word spoken against you loses its power. This is not about luck, it's about prophecy being fulfilled. God says you were chosen to be a vessel of restoration, to receive wealth not for vanity but for purpose. You are being entrusted with influence because you will use it to lift others, not just yourself. Tonight, heaven is rewriting something in your spiritual record. There are scrolls of destiny being opened in your name. Your lineage is being restored. The curses that limited your family are breaking one by one. Generations before you prayed for someone strong enough to receive this blessing, and heaven chose you. The wealthy man's power of attorney is symbolic of heaven's authority being passed to you. God is saying, I am giving you control over what once controlled you. For years, you've watched others rise while you stayed still, wondering why your turn never came. But the truth is, God was watching to see if you would still trust Him in the waiting. He tested your heart, and you passed. Every time you could have chosen bitterness but chose prayer instead, heaven recorded it. Every time you were hurt but didn't retaliate, you added value to your spiritual name. And now, that name is being written in golden ink on divine documents. Angels are placing your signature next to blessings that have your spiritual DNA. God says, don't fear what you don't understand right now. This blessing will not harm you. It will not overwhelm you. It will restore you. The moment the transfer happens, you will notice unusual peace in your spirit. People who ignored you will suddenly want to speak with you. Opportunities that were silent will suddenly open. You will feel like everything that was frozen is now melting into movement. That is the power of divine timing. The man transferring his authority is not acting on impulse, he is acting under divine instruction. He is guided to bless you before it's too late. God says, before 11:55 p.m., something irreversible will occur. If you ignore the divine nudge, the energy of this moment may redirect elsewhere. That's why this message says, open it immediately. Heaven works through moments, and moments are fragile. They are windows of divine opportunity that don't stay open forever. Do not be afraid of success. You've been conditioned to survive, not to thrive. But now God is retraining your spirit to handle abundance with grace. You are about to enter a phase where miracles will not shock you, they will become your new normal. Unexpected favor will follow you everywhere. Emails, calls, messages, or divine encounters will begin aligning one after another. The people who doubted you will be silent witnesses of your elevation. You will not have to chase what belongs to you. It will come searching for you. God says, I am the one orchestrating this. The wealthy man may look like the giver, but I am the true source behind him. I am using him as a vessel to deliver what heaven already assigned to you. Do not worship the blessing. Worship the giver. Keep your heart humble, your hands open, and your prayers consistent. Heaven says, this blessing carries purpose. It is meant to free you, not to trap you. It is meant to open your destiny, not to distract you. The reason you were kept hidden was so that when this wealth and authority come, your heart will remember that it was not your effort but God's mercy that brought it. In the hours before midnight, there will be signs around you, maybe a sudden stillness, a whisper of peace, a strange calm, or a repeated number you keep noticing. These are confirmations that the spiritual world is shifting in your favor. Trust the process. Don't panic if things don't make sense. Heaven's miracles are rarely logical. Archangel Michael is standing near you even now. His wings of light are surrounding your atmosphere. He has been assigned to guard this transition. You may feel a warmth or tingling in your spirit. That is divine confirmation. Michael says, you are safe. This transfer is pure. This is not deception. This is fulfillment. He is ensuring that no one can interfere with this divine arrangement. God says, there is something bigger than money coming your way. There is divine recognition. The world will start seeing you differently. Even those who once dismissed you will sense something powerful about you. That's the light of divine authority resting upon you. You will notice that your intuition becomes stronger, your confidence grows without arrogance, and your heart expands with compassion. This is the mark of someone carrying heavenly favor. God is reminding you not to share too much of this too soon. Not everyone is meant to know your miracle before it's secure. Some blessings must stay quiet until they are sealed. So, protect your energy. Avoid explaining yourself to people who wouldn't understand your spiritual journey. The wealthy man's action is sacred, it is guided by divine law. What he's doing will bless not only you but generations after you. God says, this moment is the answer to the prayers you thought were forgotten. The reason nothing made sense before is that heaven was aligning every delay into divine order. Every rejection was protection. Every closed door was redirection. Every disappointment was preparation. And now, everything you went through is about to pay off in a way that makes you cry with gratitude. When this transfer becomes visible, remember to stay grounded. Pray before you make decisions. Listen to the small voice of guidance inside you. It's the Holy Spirit directing your steps. You will be led where to invest, what to build, and whom to help. Your wealth will have a mission: to heal, to uplift, and to restore. God says, do not fear the responsibility that comes with blessing. You will not carry it alone. Angels will work through you. Wisdom will rise within you. You will know exactly what to do, even when logic says you shouldn't know. That's how divine favor works. It brings clarity where confusion once lived. There are people watching you now who underestimated your destiny. Soon they will say, "How did this happen so suddenly?" And you will smile, not with pride, but with quiet peace, knowing that when God decides to elevate someone, no power can stop it. You will look back at this message and realize that it wasn't fantasy, it was prophecy. Heaven says, you are being positioned for something greater than you can imagine. The power of attorney being transferred to your name represents a spiritual truth. You now carry authority over your life's direction. No one else will control your narrative. No manipulation, no betrayal, no deceit will ever hold you again. The chains are broken. You are free. Before 11:55 p.m., speak these words with faith: God, I receive what heaven has prepared for me. I trust your timing, and I surrender all fear. Let your will be done. When you say this, something invisible will begin to move. It may start as peace, but soon you'll see evidence, proof that heaven kept its promise. God says, you will soon receive communication that confirms this message. Whether through a person, a call, a letter, or a divine encounter, the sign will be clear. Don't question it. Just be ready. This is your moment. Heaven is cheering for you. Angels are celebrating your endurance. What is being transferred to you is not luck, it's justice. You waited. You believed. And now, the harvest has found you. God says, this is your midnight miracle. You are stepping into divine ownership. Trust, pray, and watch what unfolds, because tonight, heaven writes your name into the story of abundance. God says, listen closely, for this message carries the sound of divine timing and hidden inheritance that your soul has long waited to hear. In this very moment, heaven is aligning something extraordinary for you, something you never expected but have secretly prayed for in your quiet moments of hope and faith. There is a man, a wealthy man, whose heart has been stirred by the Spirit of God to do something no one will understand. He has been instructed by divine will to transfer his power of attorney to your name. You do not know him personally, yet your paths are tied by destiny, by the invisible threads of spiritual agreement written long before you were born. Heaven whispers, do not ignore this. This is a sacred turning point in your story. This man has been observing your journey from afar, not through curiosity, but through divine connection. God placed your name in his dreams, not once but many times, until he could no longer resist the voice calling him to act. He doesn't know why you were chosen, but God knows. You have suffered enough, you have waited enough, and now, in a mysterious way, abundance is locating you. While the world sees coincidence, heaven sees completion. The same God who watched you cry in silence is now sending someone who carries the keys to your next chapter. And that person, the wealthy man whose power and influence could change lives, is now ready to hand over his authority to you. But God says this transfer isn't just about documents, wealth, or titles, it's about spiritual elevation. It's about proving to you that when you walk by faith, miracles happen in hidden rooms and private hearts. Angels are moving behind the scenes even now. They are guiding signatures, whispering to hearts, and unlocking divine timing so that what is yours cannot be lost. You may not see the papers, but heaven has already written your name upon them. The power that once belonged to him is shifting into your hands through divine decree. You are stepping into a new level of influence, where your words will carry weight, your prayers will bring results, and your name will open doors that once seemed sealed forever. God says, do not fear this blessing. Sometimes when a miracle approaches, your mind tries to reject it because it feels too good to be true. But this is not illusion, it is intervention. This man, guided by divine conscience, has decided to rewrite his legacy, and heaven has whispered your name into that legacy. The angels assigned to him have now connected with the angels assigned to you. They are creating a bridge of wealth, trust, and divine protection. The same power of attorney that once gave him control over vast treasures will now place those treasures under your authority. You were chosen because your spirit is pure, your intentions are good, and your heart carries compassion. God is not blessing you to flaunt wealth, He is blessing you to heal, to build, and to be a living testimony that divine justice always arrives on time. Heaven is warning you gently, do not delay in acknowledging this message. The man has set his heart on completing this before the clock strikes 11:55 p.m. If you turn away in doubt or delay with disbelief, his human heart may sway, and he might donate everything elsewhere. But if you accept this word in faith, you unlock the chain of miracles that has been waiting to descend upon you. God is saying, this is not a coincidence. It is a covenant. The Spirit is moving quickly. Every second counts now, not because God is impatient, but because divine timing is sacred. There is a window open in heaven right now, a window that closes at the appointed hour. You are being asked to believe, to align, and to receive without question. you have always carried light inside you, even when the world ignored your worth. You gave when you had little, forgave when you were wronged, and kept faith when you had no proof that God even heard your prayers. But He did. Every tear you shed became a seed in the spiritual realm, and now, those seeds are breaking open into blessings you could never imagine. God has seen your loyalty. He knows how you carried pain quietly. He knows how many times you chose peace over revenge. And now He says, it is time for justice to visit your life disguised as generosity. This wealthy man is heaven's instrument. His power of attorney represents not just worldly control but a divine exchange of authority, from earthly possession to spiritual inheritance. Even now, Archangel Michael stands beside you. His wings are spread wide, shielding you from fear, confusion, and disbelief. He is guarding this miracle.